Hi, my name is Kofi Smiles. I'm a journalist. I'm the breakfast show presenter over at BBC Radio up on my side. So I want to talk to you a few things about getting into the industry, because I know quite a few people are looking to get into radio, and why not? It is one of the coolest forms of communication. It's just you and whoever's listening, bit of music, a few things to talk about, and it's all live happening right now. I think the best way and the best advice I can give you will be to go to your local radio stations, knock on the door, send someone an email, and just have a chat with any producers there, any presenters there. Spend a bit of time shadowing. She's spending a bit of time with the producer on the radio and the radio staff there, following and watching them what they do, making a few cups of tea, and even coming to them with stories. If you've got thoughts and ideas about your local area, or maybe you want to do stuff about arts and culture, covering bands, covering stuff at the theatre, reviewing the cinema, finding a way to say, look, there's loads of people that are interested in this also. I'm covering it. Would you like my voice to say? We don't have to go on the film, so but making sure that you can show them what you can do and show them you have a voice telling stories. Because essentially in journalism, it's telling the stories, telling the story about why a business has gone under, telling the story about why a community has come together to write about someone and will live down their street in their space. You've just got to be able to prove that you can listen, tell stories well, and also engage and talk to people. So that would be definitely the start of it. Have a YouTube channel, you might have an Instagram or TikTok account. Just make sure you're going out there and telling stories in a way that no one else can, using your voice. And remember, you do have a voice. The way that you see the world, the way that you talk about the world is unique to you, and no one else can do that other than yourself. I know that sounds a little bit cliche, but people want to hear of unique individuals, unique stories, in unique and interesting ways. So just to run that back, get in touch with local stations, make sure you're telling stories, make sure you're doing these things already, and go out to them and tell them, look, this is what I can offer you, this is what I can do for you. Spend a bit of time learning about how the station works, what type of stories they're telling, what sort of communities they're talking to, and more importantly, what type of communities and topics that they're not talking about. So you can be like, boo, get in there and say, look, we need to be able to talk to more people about this. That's an audience that you're missing. So that would be the first bit of advice. Secondly, I want to talk about hosting and presenting. So one of the things that I love doing, I love reading comics, I love watching films, I love listening to music. More importantly than that, I love talking about this sort of stuff. So when I'm not talking about my mates about it, I'm talking about this with friends on the internet. And I'm thinking, I need to do something more about this. I want to be able to go out and do it live with people. So I'm looking at gigs, I'm looking at conventions, I'm looking at trying to find a way to take my interest and be part of the community. So one thing I've done, I've emailed various Comic-Con, people who run Comic-Cons. I email bands on tour, message them on their socials, find out who their band managers are, find out who their booking agents are, send them an email and say, hey, I'm a presenter here. Would you mind if I spoke to the band? Would you mind if I come and review these guys doing this show? Would you mind if I speak to these guys that come into your Comic-Con? All it takes is an email and asking, and I think people underestimate that. Getting in touch with someone just to say, can I have a chat with them at this time, at this place, about this specific topic, whether it's a new album, or it's a new idea or concept, something that has been said by them in an interview way back, anything at all, it just starts with contact. So you've just got to get in contact with the people that are running things and be persistent. That's the thing. A lot of people will send an email, not hear anything, just leave it. You've got to follow these things up. And sometimes people say no, but you can't let that hold you back. Though maybe now's not the time, but can arrange another time next time I'm in town. Or even like I do, I follow people to different cities. Just the other week, I went and spoke to one of my favourite bands, Curry and Cameron. I'm from Hull. They were playing in Nottingham, and I went to meet them, did the interview, watched the show there, and it was worth it. And at the end of the day, you can either try and you can use that interview for yourself, for your own content, or you can try and find other publications that would post it and send it out for you. And that is just the way that you can find your way in and build up that portfolio. Because the more that you do it, the more that you can build up, the more that you sharpen your skills, the more credentials that you have, and the better you get at the game. It's all about contact, and it's all about get practice, and it's all about getting those miles up and doing as much work as you can. And I think the most annoying thing about this industry is that there's no set way to do something. You can speak to myself as a presenter, you can speak to another presenter, you can speak to 20 presenters, and we'll all have different stories and different angles of getting into this business and doing what we do, which is a beautiful thing. It's also frustrating because you want to be a doctor, you go to medical school, that's the pathway, you know that's what you do in order to do it. You want to be a lawyer, same thing, pharmacy teacher, all of these have got pathways and avenues. With media, it's different. You've got to forge your own path, and you've got to be tenacious and just keep on rolling and going, because if you put in the work in, getting in touch with the right people, you will get there. Trust me. How you get there is up to you and how much work and effort that you come into. If anybody got any thoughts, any questions, you can drop me a message and find me on all social media platforms. I'm just Kofi_Smiles, and I'll be willing to help you out with anything, because I know how frustrating it is to try and get a job in the media and to do stuff like this. I graduated in 2011. I didn't get my first proper job with the BBC until 2016. And that was 4 years of doing stuff on YouTube, Instagram, making films and short videos with my mates. And I didn't get working in cons up until, God, I think it was 2022. And this was like well into my media career and like maybe 10 years into doing videos on Comic Cons. And just because I just took the chance and emailed one person. I was like, hey, do you mind if I come and do some interviews here? And luckily, they're like, yeah, we'll give you a shot on this. And you get that shot, you make it count. And hopefully you would have been building up your skills, so when that opportunity comes, you're ready to take it. So like I said, it's just emails, man. Get in touch with people. Take a chance on yourself, and other people take a chance on you as well.